I came across this post last night from Bridget where she asked people to tell her the wildest Bravo inside scoops while she was bored on her flight. And let me tell you, the comments did not disappoint. Easy commented, "My friend worked at a hair salon in Charleston, South Carolina, and said the stylist used to hate when Cameron from Southern Charm came in because she was a lot. She calmed down after her daughter was born." This user wrote, "I met Tom Schwartz in the line for a bathroom in New York City right after Scandival, and when we were talking about it, he said, quote, and to do it with Rachel of all people." Badger 1017 wrote, "Saw Ramona at the Rosewood Baha Mar in the Bahamas, walked into a restaurant and heard a woman in a stern, whiny voice telling the host who she was and that she needed a table and it was Ramona, lol." Not even surprised by this one at all, actually. This one I can absolutely see happening. Lexi wrote, "I saw Sutton and Nobu in New York City and she said Dorit wears flashy designer and it's tacky. This was a few years ago, throwing shade at Dorit." Anya commented, "Met Shep in Austin and they invited me out with them and a friend. Austin was so kind and respectful. I didn't like him before, but I'm a big fan now. Shep, no comment." I thought this comment was really juicy from Mel. She said, "I was at Watch What Happens Live when Robin had to explain the one of it all with Ebony. Andy legit told us there was going to be a change in plans right before filming. She was super caught off guard, 10,000%. This user said, "I saw Kyle Cook at the LaGuardia airport like a week ago. Get denied access to the Chase Lounge. LOL. No Amanda in sight though." Another Vanderpump Rules comment, Morgie said, "I saw Tom Sandoval and Raquel without Ariana at a Coachella after party, and it was that Coachella year. And they were acting a little too frisky, and I remember wondering why Ariana wasn't there." Tawdry commented, "I passed Andy Cohen on the street in Midtown a couple weeks ago, and he was talking on the phone and said something like, and good luck finding somebody else to run that show." The Tom Schwartz ones are funny. Corinna wrote, "I was eating at Schwartz and Sandy's and Schwartz walked in, talked to every single table and gave a Starburst he had in his pocket." Ryan Admonson also met the Toms a few weeks ago and they were actually so fun and nice. Still mad at Sandoval, but he's not as insufferable as people make him out to be. More Southern Charm tea. Kayla said, "I met Austin and Wilmington one weekend and he told me about Naomi and Whitney hooking up before the season aired. I didn't believe him and was floored when I watched it." Which that still is like so weird to me. Not sure how Dolores fans are gonna feel about this, but apparently she was a nightmare, mean, garbage person to this user's makeup artist when she worked with her for free and no tip, mind you. More Southern Charm tea. Amanda wrote, "I worked at the hotel in Nashville that the Southern Charm boys stayed at in season 6 when Austin and Madison were on a break. All of the boys except Craig were awful and had so many girls in their hotel room." Heather talked about some Scandival tea that now has me wondering who she's talking about. She said, "I knew about Scandival before it broke because my friend was hooking up with someone from the cast who spilled the beans." I'm literally gonna have to sit and think on this one. Another one about T-Rav, which by the way, somebody used their dog's TikTok account, Pebbles the Multi-Poo, wrote, "After T-Rav's second son was born, he made a scene at the hospital screaming, 'No one touch my son,' because baby mama wanted to circumcise." Morgie commented, "I worked with Teresa and Danielle. She did a remake of the table flip scene, lol, and they were both so nice, but Teresa was especially nice and thankful to all the producers and staff." Which I've seen so many stories saying Teresa is actually one of the nicest housewives to meet in person. Oh, and some Salt Lake City tea. Allie wrote, "My friend's Uber driver last month in Columbus, Ohio, showed her a picture of Seth with his mistress because she was their Uber driver like 6 months ago. She didn't get the pic I needed to see." Cassie commented, "I saw Kyle Richards on a hike in Studio City holding Morgan's hand last summer." I mean, they're always together. Katie commented, "I met Kyle Cook the week before Christmas and he told me he and Amanda spend holidays separately with their own families. This was the Christmas of the year they got married." This comment section was genuinely so fun to read, but now I need to know, what's the wildest Bravo rumor you've heard? Let me know in the comments.